Yo, what's up, everybody? So, I didn't realize that after I recorded this podcast that this is actually the 50th episode of Carlton's World, the podcast itself. Not like the whole entire Carlton's World, like, umbrella, because under that, we got, like, Carlton's World, the podcast, the VPN chat, Take Five, um, TV Time, and the Ranger Ravers. I think I'm like at 90 something total episodes, but as Carlton's World itself, this is episode number 50. And so you know how I feel about monumental numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I love like counting things and things like of that nature. So anyway, 50, you know I gotta do something. This is something small, but it's also monumental to me as well. So with that being said, of course, I got the sparkling rosé, the sparkling rosé. This is non-alcoholic. But I want to cheers to 50 episodes of Carlton's World, the podcast. I am just so grateful to be able to have you all that listen and or watch. I definitely appreciate you. So yeah, this is a cheers to you and a cheers to many more episodes of Carlton's World. So here we go. Cheers. This is so good. All right, so let's get to the episode. Here is Carlton's World.
Life is like a basketball game. Sometimes you're up, other times you're down. Opponents and adversaries coming at you left and right. However, it's not the challenges you face that define you. What defines you is how you play the game. And I play to win. Welcome to my world, Carlton's World.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Carlton's World. It's your boy, Carlton. I have a very special guest joining me. He's going to be talking about a topic that it's basically based on a post that I wrote the other day. And he chimed in, and I said, hey, let's do a podcast episode. And I have with me the man behind all of the great animations that you have seen. I voiced a few of them, and he also is the man behind the animation of Carlton's World, the animated series. Very good friend of mine. I present to you Josh Abrams, aka PropJosh. How you doing today, man?
Good. How are you, man?
Doing good, man. Welcome to the pod.
Of course. I was gonna make a joke about the intro. I was gonna say, man, whoever did that intro, man, he should be working for Disney.
Yeah, he did. That's included as well. Josh definitely did the animation behind the actual podcast animation as well. So, so yeah, let's before we get into the topic, I want to talk about how we first met. Josh posted he needed voice actors in the group that we're both in on Facebook, and what was it? It was for While I'm Single. And so I submitted for that. And ever since then, I have been stalking Josh and submitting for every single thing. And been submitting for every single thing that he posts. And no, but seriously, I that's how we met as far as he casting me in to be voices for his animations. And also, Josh and his brother Jason, aka Smiley, and their friend Marcus, aka 730, they have a podcast, and they did an episode on Pastor Thorn. I knew nothing about this podcast. I don't even know how I came across it, but I just knew that it said Pastor Thorn. I said, let me listen to what they're saying, because if they're trashing it, then yikes. But no, I listened to it, and then I just became a fan of the style of how y'all do y'all's podcast. So I literally, for 2 weeks maybe, I listened to every single podcast, like every single episode of the podcast. I went back all the way to the very beginning. I just started listening to it because, like, the chemistry that all three of you guys have together is hilarious, and they're talking about different movies and shows, and just giving their perspective on it. I've had the opportunity to be a guest on a few episodes, and yeah, that's been there. Me and Josh actually met for the first time this year in person.
Yep.
What's up, man? In person for the first time. I talk to this man all the time. First time. How's it going, man? All right, man. Good.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, Josh. I was extremely nervous about meeting you in person.
Oh, really?
Yes, because like you know how people can be one way on social media or online or whatever, but can be like it could be like a totally different experience in person.
Yeah.
So I was not. I was like I didn't know exactly what to expect. Um, and like I said, I didn't exactly know what your perception of me was. Like I said, I mean, we talk on the phone pretty often, and then like I said, we do text a lot. But it's a totally different experience when you meet somebody in person.
Well, for me, all right. So where I live, I don't see too many people other than my daughter. It's just me and my daughter out here. So whenever I hang out with friends or talk to friends, it's mainly online. And so a lot of my friends and a lot of people I've met in the past since the pandemic, literally since the pandemic, most of my friends that I have now, I've met online.
Mm.
And so when I met them in person, it's the same. I would be like, oh, hey, it's like nothing. So you're one of the many people I've met over the years that I've made friends with online. So I was kind of like, I was the opposite. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like just like we, talk on the phone all the time. So it's gonna be like that in person.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I am what am I? Was it an extroverted introvert or introverted extrovert? One of them. Um, it was just I guess and for people who know this about me, I don't like talking on the phone anyway. I get anxiety about talking on the phone. I don't know where that comes from, but that's just how it is. I hate talking on the phone. I'm definitely a texter, so when it comes to meeting somebody for the first time in person, that like anxiety kind of goes into overdrive a little bit.
Mm.
But like I said, I was extremely excited to meet you in person. 'Cause I was like, yeah, like I said, we definitely have I think we have a great friendship. And like I said, I was excited to actually meet you in person. And Josh took me to this toy place.
Yes.
This huge, this huge toy place.
Like a mall.
It's like I don't know what that was. It was just a overhaul of action figures and toys and just different things. But it was cool. It was definitely a cool experience. Us beginning to hang out. Josh also took me to an improv show.
Yep.
Which was dope. I definitely had fun going there. That was cool. And I also got to meet your friend Brick.
Yep.
So yeah.
Who I also was one of the friends I met online first and then met in person.
So yeah, man. Like I said, it's been great. I definitely again have enjoyed us building not only as creators but as friends. So I definitely appreciate you, man. For all that you do.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So let's jump into this topic here. This is what I wrote. I said ideas are good, but they're not enough. You have to be willing and able to execute that idea to make it a reality. No one has to, and more than likely is going to give you an opportunity. No matter your profession, passion, or purpose, we are all creative beings, and which means we are all creatives. So as a creative, go out and create your opportunities. Then I put the spirit of entitlement is running rampant in these streets, and it needs to be demolished today. Yeah. So where that came from is honestly being just a whole plethora of people see. So for me, for example, I just recently just started getting some accolades or different things like that, some acknowledgments, and I feel like people see that and they're like, "Oh, I want what Carlton has," or "Why am I not getting what Carlton has?" And it's like, do y'all understand the 20 plus years that came before that?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't. I don't think y'all really. And I think what it is for people. It's for people who are just now meeting me or just now getting to know me. They're seeing I guess the fruit of the labor versus y'all didn't see the toiling of you didn't really see the labor part, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
people didn't really see that. A lot of people that know me now didn't see that part, and that's why I appreciate a lot of my friends that I have over the years that have known me since then, because they really know. Okay, no, Carlton's really been putting in work.
Right.
Like and this is just the beginning of the results of the work that he's put in for 20 plus years. And so that's where that post came from, because it's like I see it all the time, like people saying slick comments, and I'm just like, you don't, do you understand all the no's I went through, all
Mm.
the backlash I went through, like all the stuff that I've gone through to get to this point?
Mm.
Like you don't do, like I put in work, bro, and it's like you don't get to just come in on my level 8. You know what I'm saying? And you don't experience level 1. So that's
Right.
where that came from. And like I said, I know Josh, he chimed in on it. He said he had some thoughts. So
Oh
Josh, I
yes.
definitely want to hear. I want to hear what you got to say about that, because you've been
Oh
putting in
man.
work too, bro. So like I know you've been putting a lot of years. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this topic.
Oh yeah. I said I got a lot to say about it too. Because even yesterday, as far as yesterday, because I posted the cast announcement for my upcoming project, Ready Boy, which Carlton is going to be in as well. But I casted that. I posted that, and I had quite a few people hit me up like, "Hey, what about me? Hey, what about me? What's going? Hey, you know?" And I'm just like, I these people worked to get to this point. You can't just walk in through the back door and be like, "Hey, put me in this movie now, or put me in this project," when I they already worked hard to get to this point. So that bothered me. So, but yeah, I get that all the time. I get that every time I'm working on something. People want to be in it. They want to, they want to jump on your coattails immediately, kind of thing, and they don't want to be there at the beginning when you're starting out. So yeah, I whichever subject you want to jump into that specifically, I'm ready to talk about.
So I mean, honestly, I didn't really have anything really specific. It was just the fact of, I think, just we are in an age of, again, we're just in an age of entitlement. People just, I feel like they're entitled to have things, like they don't have to put like and it's honestly, it's unfortunately where we are with social media, the popcorn, instant fame, and different things like that. People just feel entitled to, okay, I've been doing this for 10 seconds and I deserve this promotion, or I deserve to get actor of the year, or I deserve to,
Mm,
entertainer, this whatever. And it's like but it's like, like I said again, you're looking at people, who've been doing it for a while now, and it's like you're trying to get there without going through the steps. You're basically trying to play
mm-hmm.
Mario Brothers. What you're trying to
Right.
do is you're trying to go from level 1, 2, and then jump on the thing, and then go all the way to the last tunnel to level 4, then go to level 4, 2, jump on the thing again, and then go all the way to level 8. That's
And
what you're trying.
even though they're trying to do that, when you first play Mario Brothers, you don't discover that level anyway.
Right, right,
Nobody's discovered that level when they first played it.
right,
So somebody had to tell you about it, or you just found it on your own.
right, right. Exactly, exactly. But that's what people are trying to do, though. They're trying to skip. They're trying to skip steps. In life, you can't skip steps. You can't. I'm sorry. I mean, as much as there are different ways to to do that, I wouldn't advise it, just because again, it's like there in those steps there are lessons. Those lessons are
Yeah.
building blocks towards where you're trying to go.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely have to do that. So I remember it was probably about 10 years ago, somebody asked me about how to get a good YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, my YouTube, I got a pretty decent YouTube channel. And like, but it's been years since I got to that point. And it's, it took years to get to that point, man. He was trying to ask me how to get to that point. And I was telling him, I was like, well, you're not going to just have it overnight like that. You have to work to get to that point. And I said, I'm really not where I want to be with it myself. And I got to this point. So I was like, and it works for each person. Everybody got to do something different.
Right.
Side note, while I was telling this guy, he kind of insulted me while I was talking to him about it. He was like, well, you didn't even get that far and you telling me. I'm like, dude, what? I'm trying to help you. Never mind. But like you were saying earlier, nobody's going to just give you a handout kind of thing. And so I grew up almost thinking like that because, I was watching TV where someone gets famous like immediately, like, they'll do a talent show or they'll be playing a basketball game and then there's like a record executive in the audience or
right.
or there's always somebody really big in the audience at a high school event
right.
on TV. That does not happen in real life. So I was thinking that's what actually happened until I realized, okay, I'm gonna have to do stuff myself. And so when I made my first movie, that was a big moment in my life because I had realized that nobody's going to give me a hand me out. I'm going to have to do it myself. And so, like, because I was like, I'm talented and working on my own stuff, my animations. I'm hoping someone will see it and be like, hey, we want to hire you for Disney. And it's like, that's not going to work. And so I wrote my own movie and I went to a studio myself and basically did everything myself. And, I had to go through a lot of turmoil to do it and stuff. And I knew it was going to be a lot of hard work. You just kind of have to be prepared for that hard work. And like you were saying, you learn. You can't just skip those steps. You have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you a better person, and then it prepares you for the next project or the next thing, so you can get better at it. Because, like, I've been doing animation, quote unquote. And I say quote unquote because I wasn't quite that great in animation for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say 2020 is when I officially started doing more animations to people. That's when 2020 is when people started noticing me. They didn't see the 15 years prior.
Right.
They didn't see me like I couldn't animate to save my life. I'm figuring out other ways. So like my first movie is not animated, it's made with puppets because that's what I knew how to film with instead of animation. And so they didn't see that. They didn't see me working years and years doing those things. They just saw, oh, he's making a little animation. I want to be in it. That kind of thing. So it's like, no, I had to, or me doing all the voices. I'm doing the girl voices and stuff. So like they didn't see my humble beginnings.
Right. So, yeah, that's I remember my god brother a long time, years ago. It was like there are gonna be people who see you in the future and they're gonna think like you just instantly got there, and they're not gonna realize that how much work you put in to get to where you are. And like you said, like I'm nowhere near where I envision myself being. Like even taking it to the YouTube, like bro, like my first YouTube page got deleted. Like I was almost at 10,000 subscribers, and then it got deleted. People already know the story. You need to get on all that. So I'm having to rebuild this YouTube page that I have now, like, cause I had it I had it back when I was in college, and then I just never really did anything to it. But now it's like my official YouTube page now, and so having to build that, it's definitely been a journey, and it's definitely been some difficult days of trying to, build it and build it to what my my other YouTube page was. But like you said, it's just you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. And like I said, and I'm like you, man. When I was growing up, when I knew I wanted to be a writer, like I was like, okay, I'm gonna write these scripts. I'm gonna mail them off, and somebody's gonna see it, and they're gonna hire me to be a writer on their show. And when I tell you, I kept getting like letters that said, "We do not accept unsolicited material. Please stop writing us." Like I was getting those on the constant, and so, like you said, man, it's got to a point where it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna do it on my own and just really build my own thing. And and the people will come. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how this is how my career has been. I wrote a post recently that said 95% of my career has been I'll figure it out, and that still holds true to this day. It's like because you get to a place where, of course, you want a team, of course, you want help, you want to do things, but there are people that slow down the process. And I don't mean like me, not. This is not me talking like I'm just an impatient person, which I can be, just to be honest. But this has nothing to do with being patient. It's about no. There are people because you have a vision. Like I said, Josh, you have a vision for what you want to do, and nobody's gonna be as passionate about your vision as you. So there are times where, okay, I might want such and such to be a voice for my animation, but he's taking 4 or 5 months and I don't have that much time to do it because I want to put this out at a specific date. So, and then it goes back to even with me, like there are certain things that I wanted to do that, yeah, I want to get this person that's an expert in it, but he can't get back to me probably until like another 2 years. I'm not waiting 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to figure it out. And my motto has always been grow as you go. I think life is always your best teacher. Like you look back at stuff I've done in the past, you look at it now, it's like, oh, that's kind of cringy. But I'm glad that I started because if I never started, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Right.
Same thing with you. Like you said, you started out, with your animations weren't that great, but you kept going and look where you are now, man. Like it's like people are clawing to be a part of your productions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I tell people all the time, you got to start somewhere. You are not going to start being. You're not going to start where Tyler Perry is now.
Right.
Like Tyler Perry.
Shouldn't.
Like Tyler Perry slept and started sleeping in his car, bro. Like I'm just saying, like you again, it goes back to him. Like it's just we see these people where they are now, and it's like, no, you don't understand what their beginning story is.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you got to start somewhere. And I'm sorry, this may sound bad, but I don't. I can't add no more stuff to my plate. So I can't. I cannot. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be able to. I have an idea of me.
Dude, I got so much to say about that.
Go ahead.
I've had plenty of people that would come to me, hey, I got an idea for an animation that we could work together. And I'm like, nope. I have like 4 animations I do on my own. I can't just do your idea because I have quite a few people do that.
Because the thing is with that, like, because here's the thing. I have an idea, people. I have an idea and I want you to do it for me.
Exactly.
It's not
exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's not I have an idea. Can you help me? How can you help me make it happen? I'm willing. Because a lot of times people are, and that goes back to my post. You have to be willing to execute your plan.
Yeah. So I've had this happened before I was even an animator. I remember 2 different people coming up to me saying they had an idea. One guy, he was like, he had an idea. He had this whole idea planned out, And that was back when I was doing Josh's journal, my figurines and stuff. And he basically wanted me to do figurines of his characters and filmed it for him and stuff. And I was like, no, man, you figure it out. I figured this out for me. You figured this something out for you, what you can do. Like, don't just make me do stuff. Because I agree, man. If somebody has an idea, it's like I can help because like I don't charge for my voice kind of thing. If somebody got a project and it's like, hey, I want you to do a voice, you got me for free. I could do multiple voices. I will do it. But if they asking for me to just do everything, I'm like, no, I can't. I literally can't.
Right. Even okay, so I can't draw worth a damn. And so I knew that I wanted to do this animation, but I was like, okay, well, I work with Josh. Let me ask him if he has time to do this animation for me. But I didn't come to you and just say, hey, man, I have this animation. Here it is. I want you to write and do everything. No, I had a plan. I said, here's the scripts. I'm going to do the voice. I didn't actually record any voices. I said, I'll get the voices together. I'll edit it together. All I need you to do is just draw the people. Because I can't draw. I can do stick figures. That's all I can do. But like I said, I came with you with a plan, and I helped you execute it to as much as I could do. So like the same thing with like how I feel like when people come to me, it's like, oh, I got an idea for a movie. Okay, so where's your script?
Right.
Oh no,
right.
I want you to write it. I want to give you the idea and you write it. No, I don't have time for that. I can't. Sorry, I'm not doing it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because like I eliminate people now when they approach me about animations, where I used to hear them out. Where now I'm just like, because I'm so prepared and I've done so many animations, even for other people at this point. So when someone comes up to me and say, "Hey, what they'll do is they'll watch an episode of my stuff, and then they want me to do the exact same thing for them. And so they will come with me with not even an idea half the time. Like, hey, I want an animation. I'm like, okay, where's your script? Where's your voices? Where they're just like, oh, I was just hoping you do one for me. Like, no, I'm not gonna be able to pull the idea out of your head and pull your voice out of your mouth. You have to do the stuff. Because so many people want you to do stuff for them. It's so weird.
Yeah, and like I said again, people are not willing to put in the work, and then they get upset with you when you're like, no, I'm not. It's like somebody saying, hey, do my homework for me. No, nigga, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I got a quick story about that. Somebody tried to get me to do their homework for them when I was a kid. Let me just let you know how I am as a person. You already know how I am, Carlton. So these people, first of all, I don't think I was like the smart kid in class. I just, did my homework or I studied. I wasn't an A+ student. I just paid attention.
Right.
That's what I was. But I went to school with a bunch of idiots. And so, they were like, hey, man, I remember this one kid was like, handed me his homework. Hey, man, fill out this paper. Do the homework for me. I said, all right. I put every wrong answer I possibly could. He didn't graduate with me. I was like, what were you expecting? But I definitely want to touch on what you said earlier about sometimes people can hold you back. So yeah. I had this happen. This was one of the big moments in my career when I first started with the animations and stuff. So like I was meeting different people. I was trying to get my foot in the door and meeting different people. So at this point, I don't want to toot my own horn. But I know a few celebrities. I'm friends with a few celebrities and stuff that I got on speed dial and everything. But before that happened, when I was just a nobody, complete nobody, I was meeting people who were like in certain movies and stuff. But they weren't quite there yet. They were just in movies, and I was just fascinated that they were in a movie. Like if you're in a Tyler Perry movie, I was like, wow, that's awesome. You're the best. I need to get to know you. So I've definitely grown in that area because I don't really look at that anymore. But I met a couple of people that were like, that were in these movies, and they kind of looked down on me or just made me feel little, kind of thing. Like, oh, you keep at it, little boy. You keep doing your little thing, and maybe one day you'll make it, that kind of thing. So kind of talking down to me.
Uh-huh.
And so I took it though, because I was like, well, they're on a higher level than I am. So I actually took that. And because at the beginning, a lot of people talk down to me, man. A lot of people talk down to me. Like, if you want to do this, people will never out loud say that they're holding you back. They'll say other things. So I've experienced that, like, from the moment I made my movie until, like, yeah, they don't say it to me now recently because I don't let people like that approach me now. I'm kind of at an arm's length with certain people.
Yeah.
And so in particular, it was a couple of people that were, like, quote unquote trying to help me out, but they were literally holding me back. I'm not going to name the name of this person that did this, but, like, I would meet up with this person every now and then in LA, and they were promising me all these things, like, yeah, we're going to get this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And it was about Malcolm and James. So my series, Malcolm and James, for those who don't know. They were promising me that, we'll get Malcolm and James on Netflix. We're going to get this whole big cast of people, name the people we're going to get. We'll get Morris Chestnut to be on there and that kind of stuff. Like, they're making big promises, and I'm listening to every bit of it. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But it was a lot of talk. And so eventually, this person kind of disappeared doing their own thing. And I'm not the type of person to just talk all the time. I'm a doer.
Yeah.
I think there's the talkers and there's the doers. I'm actually a doer. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna do something about this. I don't want to just sit around and talk about it all day. And so I started on Malcolm and James. And then I started doing multiple episodes. And then I submitted to, like, a couple of film festivals. And it ended up winning an award. That same guy came back. It's like, hey, man, you want to work together again, or get Malcolm and James out there? I was like, yeah. Then he found out that I had already started Malcolm and James, and then I got an award for it. And he went off on me.
Wait, what?
He talked down to me because basically I was making moves without him. That's what it was. And so he started talking down to me and said, hey, to the point, and I will never forget this conversation, because I pay attention when people say stuff. I remember things. So when he said the certain thing, I said, our friendship is over in my mind. But I played it out for another year.
Yeah.
It was like, he said, who's a celebrity here? Me or you? Me. Who has a better IMDb? Me or you? Me. So you need to listen to me. When he said that, I said, yeah, we're done. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have way more followers than that guy. I have way more fans than that guy. Malcolm and James has a fan base now. I had to let him go in order for me to grow.
Yeah. Absolutely. That sounds like a lot of ego. That sounds like a lot of ego, a lot of pride, and you definitely made the best decision. Because here's the thing: some people want to attach themselves to you only for their own benefit. When I say that, I'm not saying like we shouldn't benefit from things that we do, but what I'm saying is, once they benefit from you, they're done. All right. Good, thank you. Thank you for your services. On to my next person I can leech off of. So it's important to recognize that and not allow that in your space. And I think, like I said again, if you would have waited on that guy, who knows, like, if Malcolm and James ever would have even happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's crazy. That's wild to me. I mean, but even just a side note. Because with doing Carlton's World, I've had special guests, people that have been in, like, 90s shows that we've grown up on, 90s, 2000s, different things like that. And I had Kente Scott on the first season, and he played Winston Ezekiel James, which is based off of somebody. And by the way, I'm offline. I have a story to tell you about the person, the actual person that character is based off of. There was another
I have a
encounter.
story too. I have a story too.
Yeah,
I saw that person recently too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that afterwards. But he said I interviewed him for an episode of The Culture, and he said that Carlton's World was his very first time doing animation, doing a voice. And he thanked me for that. He was like, "Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity." And like I said, this guy has been on television, like I said, different shows, Smart Guy, Sister, the Parkers, like different things. He's done different things. Basically, he would, as you were speaking, you would consider him a mainstream person, and so that meant a lot to me that somebody of that caliber was like humble enough to say, "Yo, thank you for giving me an opportunity to do something that I've always wanted to do." Same thing, even with season 2, I have Latangela. She played Maritza on Taina, the show that came on the Nickelodeon. She's a special guest for this season of Carlton's World, and she was like, "Yeah, this is my first time doing an animation." She wrote a post about it. "My first time doing a voice for animation. I'm so grateful." She tells me all the time she's grateful for the opportunity. And again, these are people that, for me, I've seen on TV, grown up watching, and like they are grateful for the opportunity that I gave them. That I didn't even look at it like that. I'm grateful for that you do. I'm grateful you're doing the voice,
Right.
because you don't have to do it. But thank you. You saying thank you to me? No, thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just, I don't know, man. People, I appreciate people that I have had encounters with that you would consider mainstream or what have you, that they just have this humble, grateful spirit about them. They don't take, they take every project that they do. They look at every project as the same. They don't look at it as, "Oh, I'm just doing this video for YouTube, or I'm just doing this little project or whatever." No, this is work for them. This is still a project for them. This is still something that they take seriously. So I appreciate the quote unquote main people that are grateful for these opportunities that even people
Yeah.
like us that give them. So like it's dope. It's really dope.
Yeah. I can't help but to think about, like, I know you've seen Ray, the movie Ray,
Yes.
where I always think about when Ray Charles first started, they were stealing his money.
Right.
I always think about that because I was like, that's how it is. That's a good representation of what it's like when you're starting out. Like the people who look like they're helping you, they're secretly stealing your money. They're secretly, holding you back. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just grateful for the genuine connections that God has allowed me to make. There, of course, unfortunately, there are some things, some connections that I made that weren't for my benefit, that weren't beneficial to, they were a hindrance.
Mm.
You build something, and you're seeing people want to be a part of it, so you get excited. And you're like, "Oh yeah, people want to be a part of my thing," and you're not really using your discernment when it comes to allowing different people in your space. And so definitely had to learn that lesson. But I'm grateful for the genuine connections that I made throughout the years. And I'm just so grateful again to just have the space to be creative, man. And
Oh yeah.
for sure. But before we leave this, I want to just leave with this note. And again, I'm not. I don't want people to leave this thinking like I'm bashing people or we're bashing people. It's not that. I just want you guys to be willing to work and be willing to execute your ideas. Like, if you don't leave with anything else from listening or watching this, what are you willing to do to execute that idea?
Yeah.
What are you willing to do to execute that plan?
There's something that I've been wanting to say earlier.
Go ahead.
Because it's from Spider-Man into Across the Spider-Verse, the poster behind me. And I'm a Spider-Man fan, but my favorite line in that movie is because like the other Spider-Man that he's running from, he gets Miles and tells him, you're not supposed to be here, you know, because it was like you were a mistake. You weren't supposed to be here. And my favorite line Miles says, he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing." I love that. I love that because it's like that's how I felt. I always felt like whenever I met people, like like I said, when I first got started and stuff, and they were holding me back, telling me things. It's like you're never gonna make it or stuff like that. I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing, and and now I do my own thing, and now people want to be a part of that. But that's that, and that be that's my advice for other people. Do your own thing. Like you don't have to sit around and wait for someone to do it for you. Like just figure it out. You don't have to ride on someone else's coattails. I mean, maybe that was my problem too. Maybe I was in the beginning trying to ride on people's coattails. And so I had to learn to do it on my own. So I mean that I could be guilty of that. Maybe we're all guilty of that.
We all are.
So,
yeah. We all are.
Yeah. So yeah. That's why I'm like that. I think that's great. Great advice. Just do your own thing. I started off with a camcorder and action figures. That's how I started. Me and my brother Jason. I was like, I want to be on TV. Okay, let's start now as a kid.
I mean, like, and also too, I want to throw in there, like, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I think a lot of times, like, people don't pursue things because they're looking for that perfect moment or for things to be in perfect, like a perfect alignment or something like you. Life's not perfect, yo.
Right.
Life's not perfect, so it's never going to be
mistakes at first.
You're gonna learn from your mistakes. Exactly. You're gonna learn. You're gonna make your mistakes. The important thing is to learn from those mistakes. Like you said, you start off with camera and action figures, bro. I started out with the little camcorders that you record with your family vacations. That's where I started. Like my dad had a camcorder, and I borrowed it, and I said I want to use it, and I used it. And I just started because I started out like I was doing theater. So when I started making, even though I did take production classes in high school, like when I actually started out my own thing, I was just sitting the camera. I wasn't even thinking about like angles. I wasn't thinking about. I learned all that stuff and lighting and stuff, but I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, let me go ahead. I'm gonna sit the camera on the tripod. I said, you have from this space to this space. Do not do everything in these spaces. You cannot go outside that space. I was treating our scenes like a stage, like theater. It was like, all right, we gotta set the camera up. We're gonna do everything in this space. If we mess up, we gotta stop and start over. And the stuff like that. So I wasn't doing all this stuff, but it was like, but again, I feel like if I never would have started, I would never be where I am now. And you know what I'm saying? So it's all about you have to start, and it's important, like you said, if you make your mistakes, learn from those mistakes and keep going. You grow as you go. Bottom line.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. I want to just do this episode, and hopefully people are encouraged. Hopefully people are not too upset with us.
They think they're better than everybody.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm the first to, and people have told me I gotta stop doing this, but I'm the first to say I'm like not the best at whatever. I'm not the best filmmaker. I'm not the best writer. I'm not the best whatever. You can't take my gift away from me though. I will tell you I believe I'm a good writer. I'm an excellent writer, but I would never be like, oh yeah, I'm good. Like I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
You're definitely one of those people who because like whenever I talk about my most talented friends, you come up. and I brag about you. You're not gonna brag about yourself, but I'm gonna brag about you. I do that. I be like when we went to that improv show, I told the people I spoke to some of the actors and stuff. I said, yeah, I had my filmmaker friend with me, and I had them look you up and stuff. And it was like, oh wow, you invited him? So yeah, man, I'll be bragging about you.
I appreciate it, man. I'm like I said, and I definitely, like I said, wherever I go, I definitely big you up because again, I wouldn't have what I have and things I'm doing without you, man. I appreciate your gifting and what you had and all of that, the talent that you have. But that's what it's supposed to be about. We're supposed to uplift each other. Like I feel like if others are uplifting you, then you don't necessarily have to do all that. I'm a type of person. This is me. I know I said we closing, but I feel like something doesn't stand up. I'm a type of person like for real. I don't go into the room saying, "Hi, my name is Carlton, and I won all these awards, and I have all these movies on Tubi, and da da da." That's not. That's never been me. Like now, if somebody were to come up to me and say, "Hey, what do you do?" Okay, boom. I'll let you know what's up. But I'm never gonna walk in there because you got people that walk in the room like, "Yo,
Oh yeah.
I'm Tony, and y'all need to ask for my autograph because I'm."
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like no, like that's whack to me, bro. Like that's again, I'm not saying dim your light, and I'm not saying downplay your accomplishments. But what I'm saying is there is time and place.
Right.
And I feel like when someone of greatness walks into the room, they don't have to say it; it's already there.
Mm.
That's how I feel. So I feel like when, like, for instance, if I see someone, they walk in the room and their aura and their presence are just so like big, it's like they don't have to say nothing. It's like just walk in the room. You're gonna gravitate towards that, and of course, that's gonna spark some type of conversation. Like that's just me. Like for me, like one of the things that irks me, and I try not to not show it on my face. I can't stand people that walk. I can't stand people that like feel a need for attention. Like they walk in and it's like they're just so like just just walk in.
Right.
Again, just walk in. You're who you are, and again, your aura is going to shine. So the people are gonna know that you're in the room. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say I've never really been that person that's like that's even because a lot of people like people don't. Some people know, some people don't. But we was talking about my when I had cancer, and I was like, yeah, I don't just walk in the room and say, hey guys, I'm Carlton. I had cancer. Like it's like that's no, I'm not doing that. That's weird. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying. So I feel like if that comes up or like Victory Production comes up or whatever, I'm in the room to do what I'm supposed to do in the room. Like if I'm at work, I'm there to do my job. I'm not there to talk about whatever else I got going on. But if you
Right.
ask me about it, then we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But I've never been that guy that's like, yeah, I'm Carlton and I yeah, I have two Telly awards. You should ask for my autograph right now. So yeah, nah, that's whack to me. That's
Yeah.
that's
I'm the same way. I mean, I'll talk about myself like if somebody asks, but I'm not going to be like, "Hey, look at me! I do." I'm not. I'm definitely, because I don't like the spotlight on myself too much anyway. So
I just like I said. I think again. I feel like your work speaks volumes, and I mean you as in you too, Josh, like you, Josh, but also you as in the general audience, but definitely you, Josh. Your work speaks volumes, right? And I feel like your name is already spoken highly and greatly in the rooms that you haven't even been in yet. So once you do walk into those rooms, like there's no need for you to speak for yourself because it's already done. It's already there.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? But again, because you've done what? You put the work in. So that's just how it works. That's just like it's sowing and reaping. You've sowed all those years of all that labor, and now you're reaping what you've already sown into the ground.
Mm.
Yeah. So if people already know, PKs. So it's gonna come out regardless. It's like I could be talking about a crazy movie, but a word of God is gonna come out somewhere.
Oh, of course. I mean, it popped in my head soon as we start this podcast. I was thinking about those verses anyway.
That's what I'm saying. It's just there. Well, Josh, man, I appreciate you, man. I definitely, again, I'm extremely grateful that our paths crossed. I'm so grateful not only to again work with you, but also do life with you, man. Like just as a, I'm so grateful. Like I said, true friends are far and in between. Is that the right phrase? Far and in between? Yeah, that's right.
So.
But again, I do not take. I don't take your friendship lightly. I don't take it for granted, and I'm so grateful. I'm just grateful for you, man. So thank you again for your time, and thank you for talking. I definitely appreciate it.
Of course. I'm glad I was on here. I listened a few times to this podcast. My brother was on here, so.
Eventually I want to do a podcast with all three of y'all. I want to get like the origin story of y'all's podcast and just like everything. I mean, I feel like I know it, but it's not. Yeah. I want to have the official story on here. So,
you should get Marcus. Get Marcus by himself because he's the last one. Interview Marcus, and then get all three of us. Like, now you got all three of us.
Yeah, I do need to do an interview with Marcus because I definitely want to talk to him about his music and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he's got a couple of he's got some songs coming out very, very soon.
Yeah,
so
I need to work on that. Yeah. All right, cool. Awesome. Well, all right then. Well, guys, thank y'all so much again for tuning in. If you could do so, please subscribe to my YouTube page. Josh, where can they find you?
I am known as PropJosh all over the internet. So you can go look me up on TikTok and YouTube as PropJosh and Instagram as PropJosh_productions.
Nice. Y'all please do us a solid and go to all his pages and subscribe, especially hit that subscribe button on the YouTube page. Definitely do that for my guy Josh, PropJosh, and definitely be sure to watch all this stuff. You guys will be entertained for sure. And if you could please, once again, please.
I got a lot of stuff.
We got a lot of stuff. And if you guys please could go to, we already on my YouTube page if you're watching this, but hit the subscribe button if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet. Check out the content. We have KARLTON'S World Season 2 has started. Check out Season 2. We also have the first chapter of The Loved and the Heartless, so please make sure you guys check that out. All right, guys. Be blessed. And until next time, thank you for being part of my world. Peace.